Hey guys, so what happened is that I decided to make a video that is a little bit different than usual because this week I discovered a band in which genre I never explored really in the depths, you know? And sometimes you discover a band and you say, wow, actually I love that kind of music, you know? Why didn't I listen to it before? And that's what happened to me with Opeth, who brought me to progressive death metal on those days. Then I discovered Insomnium, who brought me to melodic death metal. And this week, I discovered a German band who definitely are the ones who will bring me to the goth universe. I'm talking about Lord of the Lost. So I decided not only to make my own personal review of the latest album, Judas, that was released beginning of this month of July, but also I decided to go in the deep, you know, to go in the depth in the bio of this band, and maybe compile, you know, the biography of this band and tell you the story of this band. So this video will be a little longer than usual. It will include a lot of material, videos, audios, you know, to make you understand the evolution of the band. And in the second part of the video, I will present to you my personal review of the latest album, Judas. So, do you love goth? Don't you know anything about goth like I do? Well, in that case, fasten your seatbelts, sit back, and enjoy this video. I hope you will enjoy it as much as I did, as much as I enjoyed making this video. So this is my story of Lord of the Lost.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
So, from the beginning, Lord of the Lost was founded in the mid-2007 by Chris Arms, so he is the lead singer of the band, but it started as a solo project, and he was working on the initial songs and publishing them on MySpace. Remember MySpace? That was indeed a long time ago. And he received so much of positive feedback, you know, so he realized that he would require to recruit, you know, some people to form a band and play those songs live. So he decided to take people from a circle of friends, you know, to form the band in the Hamburg, in Germany, Hamburg music scene, and he started to work on the first album. The first track who made them really, really famous was the track called Dry the Rain, and it was released as the debut single in 2009. Here is a short clip of this track, Dry the Rain, from 2009.
Someone to blow the clouds away. We need a sun to dry the rain. We need to break the chain of yesterday. We need a storm to kill the rain. We need someone to blow the clouds away. We need a sun to dry the rain. We need to...
So now I'm going to talk a bit about the formation of this band. So they were already different guitar players and different drummers, you know, since the beginning of the band. So the current members are, of course, Chris calls himself the Lord. Harms is at the vocals, of course. He plays the guitar and he plays also the cello. I will come back later on the music of the band, you know, the different instruments that are used within their music. Class Grenade is at the bass since 2008. Jared Derridge is on the piano, the synth, the percussion, and the guitar since 2010. We have P.I. Stoffers, who was at the guitar since 2016. And you also have Niklas Kahl at the drums since 2017. So now, what about their music? Their music can be characterized, of course, as goth rock, goth metal, maybe an influence of glam, because, as I was mentioning before, Chris, the singer, was playing in a glam metal band before creating this band. So yeah, they actually, the guy is really talented, because, as I said, he plays a lot of instruments, and you will hear, if you dig in a little bit in their music, that the symphony is also very, very, very prominent in their music. So you can find violins, a lot of violins. You can find cello, of course, acoustic guitar. It's really a symphonic band. It's what I love about this kind of music. It's as always I'm saying, a mix of different genres. But here it's really a mix. Let's say you take the industrial maybe side of metal, such as Rammstein. You take a little bit of that. You take a lot of goth elements, of course. Maybe a la Paradise Lost, maybe, So you take a little bit of Rammstein, you take a little bit of Paradise Lost, you add a lot of symphony, you add violins, you add cello, you add acoustic guitar, you add piano, of course, because I will talk a little bit when I will talk to you about the discography of the band. You will see that there are quite a lot of albums already, but maybe some different albums if you take one to another. I will explain to you later on. But yeah, it's a very symphonic band, and that's what I like, even on the vocals, because Holmes is singing at the perfection, even if he growls at the perfection, and in some tracks you can feel, the distinction between the growls and the let's say the lyrical chant. Honestly, he sings like that, with a voice, a bass voice, and then he growls, and he can combine, the two different genres of his vocals, just like that, and that's what I love. And you will see in the videos that I incorporate, in the video clips that I incorporate in this video, you will see, the evolution of his voice, and is really crazy. And already there, with Dry the Rain, you can feel, the direction that he's going to take, because he growls and he can sing with a really bass voice, he can sing with a high voice, and it's really great. It's what I love about that. So this was about the formation of the band. But now, what about the albums? What about the discography? So they released their first album, as I was saying, in 2010 with Fears, the name of the first album. So where you can find the debut single, Dry the Rain. And then in 2011, they released their second album, so 1 year later, Antagony. And in 2012, Die Tomorrow. Followed by 2014, From the Flame into the Fire. And then things really start to shape up, in 2016 with the next album, Empyrean. And in 2018, Porn Star, which is an absolute madness of an album. I just discovered it, of course, this week, when I decided to get into their discography. And now in 2021, they just released Judas. So that makes 7 studios album, but that's not all. They released 3 albums called Swan Songs. There was Swan Songs Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3 that were released literally in 2015, 2017, and in 2020, last year, Swan Songs number 3. So these are live album and compilations, and if you take these Swan Songs, you will have different versions of maybe songs that are a little harsh, a little brutal for you, maybe on the main albums, but they take it like to the top of the symphonic and maybe acoustic elements. And that's what I love about these 3 compilations, Swan Songs, because they rediscover their own songs from their previous albums and make it more symphonic, more melodic, maybe more acoustic as well. So I will, of course, show you the difference between a song that was recorded on the studio album and the same song that has been covered in a different way. So now, before heading to my review of Judas, I'm gonna go deeper a little bit in the previous album, Foreign Star. I'm not gonna get into details, for all that discography because first off, I haven't discovered yet all their albums so far. I'm still working on that. But I'm starting with the album that was released in 2018, Foreign Star, which is a pure madness. I'm telling you, there are some so much super catchy chorus in these songs. You have so many great songs on this album, and what you have to know is that the album that was released in 2016, Empyrean, this album from 2018, Foreign Star, and the new album, Judas, are three double concept albums. So they tell a story on each album. And of course, on Judas, they tell the story of the Evangelion of Judas that was not recognized by the Bible, on the Bible, but it tells the story of Judas, the 13th apostle, if you will. So the album Foreign Star is no exception to this rule. So it was released in July as well, 2018, and was a double conceptual album as well. I'm gonna start here to make you discover this band through this album, Foreign Star, because it has been recognized, as the tournant, of their discography, of their career, and it's starting from that album that they really started to become famous and to become adopted by a lot of goth fans and a lot of metal fans all over the world. But it's easy to say that, of course, this band, Lord of the Lost, is more famous, very famous in Germany than in the other countries, but still it's a great goth band. And on this album, Foreign Star, you can start to feel, the Chris Holmes, starting to get his voice to the perfection, starting from that album from 2018. On that album, you will, for example, have the crazy title, is the second track of the album, called Lorelei, and this is, my friends, a crazy catchy chorus. Let's give it a try. So I think it's a pretty good example for you, to show you, the capacity, the ability of Chris, to move from a voice, to another one, in this example, of Lorelei. But Lorelei is not the only great track of this album, Foreign Star. Foreign Star is composed of a series of 20 tracks. I'm telling you, it's double albums, so for Empyrean, Foreign Star, and Judas, it's a double album, so it's more than 20 tracks on each album. So it's short tracks, always between 3 minutes and 5 minutes, so it's short tracks, of course, but still it's 20 tracks or plus on each album. So as I was saying, there's Lorelei that you just heard, that is crazy on this album, but I have a few more examples. And for example, the next one I have to illustrate for you is the next song, the third track of the album, called Black Halo, and you can see here as well, this dissonance, the evolution of the voice of Chris, all over the tracks, and the instrumentation is great as well. So this is Black Halo. And on the third edition of Swan Songs that was released last year in 2020, they covered their own songs. For example, Black Halo, here that you just heard, they covered it in a symphonic and acoustic way. So let's see the result.
You threw me away. What should I do now? Black halo is given to me. You close your eyes now when I need you. This black halo.
Another song that is absolutely fabulous on this album is a song called Morgana. It's the fifth track on the album, and same here. You know, you have these passages of growls, of a clear voice, you know, and also there's the cover, their own cover on the same Swan Song Volume 3 of this Morgana song. So I'm gonna show you now the two different versions of this crazy song, Morgana. And you know that I could spend hours talking about these songs on this crazy album, you know. But I'm just gonna give you a last example of this fabulous album with another track, which is a 10th track on the album called Under the Sun. And here again, crazy stuff.
Natural discipline, a prestige, purpose, my passions to lurk within. Am I weak and given to lust? Am I strong to do what I must? Under the sun, we all share the glow, but some of us feel the black heat of true love. Falling free from the orbit of lies, loveless dreams, when I close my eyes under the sun. Under the sun. Under the sun.
So these were some clips from the excellent album from 2018, Foreign Star. So it was the predecessor of this year's Judas. So my review of Judas is coming up next, but first I wanted to show you the talent of the guy again in different genres. For example, in this cover of Ordinary World, you know, from Duran Duran.
But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find
And do you want an overview of some quiet songs, more romantic songs? There you go.
I got my triggers, it's symptomatic. Got my reactions, they're automatic. And after all that I've been through, I project my fears on you. I've got my memories, places I've been, like wooden fragments stuck in my skin. And after all that I've been through, try to hide my scars from you. I don't want you to know, 'cause I don't want you to go. Could you still love me with a splintered mind? Could you still want me when you don't know what you might find? Behind this shattered lens I see the world through, coloring my thoughts, distorting my view. If I let you see what's broken inside of me, could you still love me with a splintered mind? You're my consolation when I'm lost.
Isn't that fucking beautiful or what? Now guys, it's time for my personal own review of their new album, Judas, that was released this 2nd of July 2021. So the album Judas is a conceptual album that tells the story of Judas, the 13th apostle in the Bible, the traitor who betrayed Jesus, but when you think about it, if it was not for Judas, the Christ wouldn't have been dead and Jesus wouldn't exist, if you think about it. But we are not here for that, let's not talk about religion, we're talking here about music and what kind of music this is. So of course we remain in goth metal with some industrial elements and a lot of symphonic elements with as well violins and cello and piano. Everything is there. So it's a double conceptual album. The first album is composed of 12 tracks and answers to the name of Damnation. And the second album, 12 tracks as well, with the name of Salvation. So both albums have a name, Damnation and Salvation. I prefer personally the first album, it's oh my god, only great tracks on this fucking album. All the chorus are so catchy as fuck, You hear the chorus for the first time, you can't resist, to the feeling to play it again and again and again, because all of these tracks are so catchy. And this is my example here. The track that you just heard is the opening track of the first album, and the track's name is Priest. And isn't that catchy or what? But it's not the only catchy song on the album, Check it out.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not
For They Know Not What They Do is the second track of the album, so just after the crazy one, Priest. And here again, super catchy, super great riffs, these melodies as well. You can hear the chorus, you have like a chorus, and on some of the songs, including on that one, for they know what they do. It's crazy. I think the mixing of both genres is just totally crazy on this album. And the track number 5 on this album, the next one, I'm going to show you a clip here. The next coming songs is called the 13th. Of course, it pays a reference to the 13th apostle, the 13th apostle, Judas, of course. And this is the craziest catchy songs. It's a motherfucking catchy song on this album. And this one is the most catchy of them all. It's the 13th. Listen to that.
I don't know how to feel alive, and I don't know if I'll ever be home again. I don't know if you'll ever see me fall. I don't know how to feel alive, and I don't know if I'll ever be home again. I don't know if you'll ever see me fall.
I don't know how to feel alive, and I don't know if I'll ever be home again. I don't know if you'll ever see me fall. It's so crazy. This chorus is just crazy as fuck, It's it's crazy stuff. It's some crazy stuff on this album. I'm telling you, it's over catchy songs all along, and I'm talking about the whole thing, the 24 tracks. Even if the first part to me is more catchy than the second one, but God, this album deserves really, it's great. It's great. I'm not gonna enter into details for each track of the album, but I guarantee that they are all good. These tracks on this album are all great. But I'm gonna move to the 10th track of this first part of the album. The 10th track being Euphoria, and this one again, what a fucking catchy song.
In this moment of final farewell, what is left to do?
So you can hear in the intro of Euphoria, it starts, with these piano notes, nothing else. And then, Chris comes in with his vocals, with this fucking bass voice, and then you have to wait for the chorus. And the chorus.
Dream of me of euphoria, drown in the starlight, no beautiful decay, free, redeemed in utopia, forever in grief, desperate in need of euphoria.
But you also have a catchy chorus on Your Star Leaving You Astray, which is the third track of the album, just listen.
Earn your words from the headstone engraver, not one more sanctimonious savior. Truth is all, you're the sinner veiled in the same. Your stars led you astray.
This is so epic, and talking about epicness, Born with a Broken Heart, this is epic as fuck. You have those chorus, you have these symphonic chorus, and then from time to time you have Chris who just a little bit of growl, just like put it like that, just at a specific segment of the track. It's just amazing.
Heaven is a place where you belong. You went down to hell, the lonely one. Savior of all, but you always knew you would fall. 'Cause in life and death you know you are. But with a broken heart,
some epicness now with another track, but epicness, different epicness, because this time it's with the cello. And by hearing this song, you have the impression that this song is taken from the original soundtrack of Game of Thrones, nothing else.
If the longing for someone is measured by the waves I'm drowning tonight.
And so, after a trip of 12 of 11 tracks, you get to the final track of this first disc. The 12th track of the disc is called The Death of All Colors. You also have a video on YouTube for that one.
My name has been carved in generations of the stars. Trees I have grown, but it wasn't my own.
What a perfect way to close up a disc. And what a trip this was. But once you're there, you only half the way, because a second disc awaits you, you know, 12 more tracks, you know, on this second disc. On this second disc, you have, the disc starts with the Gospel of Judas, which is one of my personal favorites on the album overall.
You fill this canvas yourself, Judas. Judas, you draw the lines, no one else. Judas, Judas, when they abuse your name. Judas, Judas, you break your own. Your story in stone, Judas, Judas. But when your sculpture's defiled, Judas, Judas, you burn your own You found your faith and turned on heaven.
So if you are not convinced yet, you know, of digging into that album, I don't know what will do, you know, because this is a crazy motherfucking album, you know. So this was the Gospel of Judas, and then you have great tracks coming on. You have Viva Vendetta, you have Agent, you have The Heartbeat of the Devil, you have And It Was Night, and then you get to a calm and quiet song, and this is fucking beautiful. This is My Constellation.
I hold you close to my heart. You're my revelation. You're my revelation. Let my cross. I'll always follow your star. You're my constellation. You're my consolation when I'm lost.
So as I said, I will not, make you listen to each track of this album, because I want also to make you discover it by yourself and make your own opinion about it. So just here covered a few samples, of some of the tracks of the album. But after this My Constellation track, you also have The Ashes of Flowers, Iskarioth, which is the name of Judas, A War Within, A World Where We Belong. Then you get to Apocatastasis, and the final track, the very final track of the album, Work of Salvation. And Work of Salvation, what can I say? Perfect way to end up a double album. Just listen.
Which no eye of the angels ever seen, where's no curse of any demons been. And it was bleak darkness, and it was night. He was our light. He shone so bright. He shone so bright.
So guys, that's it for me. I wanted to make this video because for me, a new door has opened to my personal musical trip of my life. I was never really into, I've never been actually curious, about goth, gothic metal, gothic rock, and all these famous bands. But thanks to this discovery, Lord of the Lost just opened these doors for me, and I think I'm gonna try to dig a little more into the goth domain of the metal, and thanks to this band, and well, my job is done here. So I just hope that through this video, if you don't know the band yet, I just hope that through this video you will get to be curious and dig into that band, and moreover and more especially listen to the Judas album, because it's I'm telling you, this album will for sure be on my top list of 2021 for sure, because this had a very huge impact of my musical experience. I didn't know that genre so far, and so that's why I decided to make this video. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't hesitate to put in the comments down below, what do you think about this album? Will you just skip this album because you are allergic to goth? I thought I was allergic to goth as well, but honestly, I like it, I like the tone, I like this mix of sinister and and romantic, and I love the rhythm. It's slow at times, it's speed at times, and I don't know, there's something about it that makes me say, okay, I like goth in the end. I think I do. I think I like goth. So feel free to put in the comments down below what you think about this album, what you think about goth in general. If you have a few suggestions, for me, for my personal long knowledge of bands that produce the same kind of music, don't tell me about him, his Infernal Majesty, because I already tried that, but I'm not really into that one. But if you have some more examples like Lord of the Lost, feel free to put it in the comments down below, and of course feel free to comment, to share, to like, and if it's not done yet, please subscribe to Melomic channel. That would be a huge appreciation. I will see you in a future video very soon on the channel. Thanks for having watched this video. It took me a while to produce this video, so I think you will enjoy it, and I will see you very soon on Melomic channel. Ciao, ciao, guys.
the tears of none. Empty shivers calling for my time far undone. I assume that there is no one that can find my peace of mind. They assume that I am guilty, but guilt I see none. I was born to be a traitor, invidious to the core. I betrayed to be the savior in times to come and times of yore. The fallen traitor hiding when all is said and done. The crown deserves its right king in the shadow of the sun. Can find my peace of mind. They assume that I am guilty, but guilt I see none. The holy fist of justice became too tired to fight, and Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I am right.
If the Lord